Hello everyone, I am Nikshita Ramesh. Now I am going to discuss some concepts about JavaScript. Variables. Variables are used to store data in JavaScript. Variables are used to store reusable values. The values of the variables are allocated using the assignment operator. Basic rules to declare a variable in JavaScript. These are case sensitive. Can only begin with a letter, underscore or dollar symbol. It can contain letters, numbers, underscore or dollar symbol. A variable name cannot be a reserved keyword. We can declare variables in JavaScript in three ways. They are var keyword, let keyword, const keyword. Var keyword. The var keyword in JavaScript is used to declare a variable. It is a function scoped and allow the variable to be accessible throughout the function in which it is declared. Here you can see the syntax and example of it. Let keyword. The let keyword in JavaScript is used to declare a variable within the block scope. This means the variable is only accessible within the block enclosed by curly braces in which it is declared, such as inside a loop or an if statement. Here is the syntax and example of let keyword. Const keyword. The const keyword in JavaScript is used to declare a variable that cannot be reassigned after its initial assignment. It is also block scoped, meaning it is only accessible within the block where it is declared. You can see the syntax and example of it. Arrays. An array in JavaScript is a data structure used to store multiple values in a single variable. It can hold various data types and allows for dynamic resizing. Elements are accessed by their index starting from 0. Declaration of an array. There are basically two ways to declare an array, that is, array literal and array constructor. Creating an array using array literal. Using an array literal is the easiest way to create a JavaScript array. You can see the syntax and example here. Creating an array using the JavaScript new keyword. The array constructor refers to a method of creating arrays by invoking the array constructor function. This approach allows for dynamic initialization and can be used to create arrays with a specified length or elements. Here you can see the syntax and example of it. Basic operations on JavaScript arrays. Accessing elements of an array. Any element in the array can be accessed using the index number. The index in the array starts with 0. Accessing the first element of an array. The array indexing starts from 0, so we can access first element of array using the index number. Accessing the last element of an array. We can access the last array element using array.length -1 index number. Modifying the array elements. Elements in an array can be modified by assigning a new value to their corresponding index. Adding elements to the array. Elements can be added to the array using methods like push and unshift. The push method adds the element to the end of the array. The unshift method adds the element to the starting of the array. Here is the example. Removing elements from an array. To remove the elements from an array, we have different methods like pop, shift, or splice. The pop method removes an element from the last index of the array. The shift method removes the element from the first index of the array. The splice method removes or replaces the element from the array. Array length. We can get the length of the array using the array length property. Here is the examples. Functions. A function in JavaScript is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task. You define it once and then you can call it whenever you need. Here is the syntax. Function definition. Before using a user-defined function in JavaScript, we have to create one. We can use the above syntax to create a function in JavaScript. Here is the example. Function declaration. It declares a function with a function keyword. The function declaration must have a function name. Function expression. It is similar to a function declaration without the function name. Function expression can be stored in a variable assignment. Here is the syntax. Function parameters. Function parameters are the named variables in a function definition that receive values when the function is invoked. They allow you to pass data into functions so that the function can operate on that data. Here is the syntax and example. Calling functions. After defining a function, the next step is to call them to make use of the function. We can call a function by using the function name separated by the value of parameters enclosed between the parenthesis and a semicolon at the end. Here is the syntax and example. Objects. In JavaScript, an object is a way to group related data and functions together. Creating objects. In JavaScript, objects can be created using two different methodologies, namely literal form and constructed form. Here you can see the literal form and constructor form. Loops. JavaScript loops are essential for efficiently handling repetitive tasks. They execute a block of code repeatedly as long as a specified condition remains true. For loop. A for loop in JavaScript is a control flow statement that allows you to execute a block of code repeatedly based on a condition. Here is the syntax and example. While loop. The while loop is a control flow statement that allows code to be executed repeatedly based on a given Boolean condition. The while loop can be thought of as a repeating if statement. Here is the syntax and example. Do while loop. An exit control loop, it executes loop content at least once even the condition is false. For in loop. For in loop is used to iterate over the properties of an object. The for in loop iterates only over those keys of an object which have the enumerable properties set to true. For off loop. For off loop is used to iterate the iterable objects, for example, array, object, set, and map. It directly iterates the value of the given iterable object and has more syntax than for loop. Break statement. Break statement is used to terminate the execution of the loop or switch statement when the condition is true. Continue statement. The continue statement in JavaScript is used inside loops to skip the current iteration and proceed with the next iteration of the loop. It allows you to bypass the remaining code in the current loop iteration and move directly to the next iteration.